Hello everybody, and welcome back to the King Fox channel. My name is Matt Conager, and I'm building a Kit Fox Model 7 STI. In the previous episode, I was starting to do some work on the control sticks for the fuck is it called? I started to do some work on the connection area where the front yokes will go. I had a little bit of difficulty with putting in this rod here, but I'll give you a little sneak peek. So this is the right side, left side, as I'm on the front, so looking back. So this is the left side, easiest one to put in, but you've got a bolt, then the flange, then a washer, then the rod end, another washer, the flange, washer, and not easy. Over here on the right side, not so easy. Anyway, limited space in there, and that I still can't get a wrench on that. I can get an open end wrench on here, just long enough to turn it probably a 1/16 of a turn on the other side, and it's going to be quite difficult to do. There's just not enough clearance there, and torquing it down to 15.5 or 12 to 15 inch-pounds is going to be tricky because I can't get my torque wrench in there either. So this is another one where the bolt has no washer on this side with a flange, and then a washer between the rod end, and then a washer on the other side, and then the flange of this, a washer and a nut. So easy to do, really. Not so much. I just laid the thing on its side, kind of like this, laid the washer right on top of here, and then slid it in, put the bolt in through the flange, the washer, and this connector, and then I rolled it over on this side, and I laid my other washer on top of the arm here, slid it in, pushed the bolt up through, put the washer on, and the nut. So really wasn't too hard. If you were just trying to stick your fingers in there and do it without using gravity as your friend, yes, it would be much more difficult, especially since space is limited in there. So with that being said, I'm gonna keep going with some more of the instructions here. So here we go. Let's go. So moving forward, I got the pivot to bell crank link I got that assembled. That was easy, of course. There's no washers to go in there. Just bolt, flange through the connector there, and the flange and a nut. Tighten it up. I torqued it to 15 inch-pounds because it doesn't say how tight to tighten it, and everything else in here has been 12 to 15. So I think that's pretty good. So now I'm going to take these control sticks and I'm going to mount them up on top of this. They're going to slide down until they meet the weld, apparently. The most pronounced end of the stick is going to be up. Just have to make sure they're in line with the fuselage longitudinally. And then I'm going to drill through them, and another bolt, washer, and nut. So I'll put them on the drill press here in a second. So let's get to it. what you just missed was I had to sand off the little bit of the powder coating on the outside of the tubes on both sides to slide the control sticks over. So I sanded with a little bit of 220, and then I hit it with the Scotch-Brite to smooth it out a little bit, slide the tubes over, tried to square them up best I could so that they're longitudinally oriented with the aircraft. The aft facing stick here is going to be towards the user as you sit in the cabin. And then I measured up 3/4 of an inch, centered on the tube, snap punched it so the drill bit had a little something to bite into, clamped it in the drill press over there, drilled them out with a number 13 bit, and then reamed them to .1875, which was this reamer here. And got those reamed out, put the bolts in, tightened them up, and now I'm going to torque them to about 15 to 20 inch-pounds. Torqued up and ready to go, so I'm going to move on to the next step. Alright, we're getting ready to do some reaming. We've got to ream the 4 right-hand control column mounting tabs to .1875 and the flap operating handle mounting tab and bushing to .1875. Those are depicted on page 17, so they're going to be here and here. So let's get to it. To break a tool, but apparently I over-torqued the .1875 reamer doing some of those holes, so I've got a shorter tool now, which doesn't help things because this one was pretty short to begin with, so I'll have to get another one of those on order.
of my reamers fits in there. So I'm going to use the reamer and try to speed things up instead of doing all that sanding like I did on the other side.
So once again, getting ready to move on to a next step, but it's telling me to press the 2 Aileron belt crank bearings into the Aileron idler belt crank. So that's this little guy. Nothing that it says press in ever fits. So I tested it with the reamer, and lo and behold, the .3125 reamer fit perfectly. And the shank slid right through, so I put it in the drill and made quick work of it. So I'm going to attempt to push the bearing inside the hole a little bit. Here we go. So this is one of those moments where things are a little bit confusing. I pulled the rod ends, 93001 and 93002, for assembly here. But that little thing hanging down there, that is already put together. So I pulled the pieces, even though I'd already assembled it before. I didn't know if it was going to be another piece, so something to pay attention to when you're building.
Hey guys, thanks for watching today's video. I hope you liked what you saw, and if you're already subscribed, hit that like button. If you aren't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe and hit the like button. And don't forget to hit the like button on every video, because that helps me out. The video got a little long, so if it's too long, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to see longer videos, I can do that too. Or if you'd like to see them shorter, let me know. Again, feedback is required in order for me to get better. I do know that the time lapse isn't the best way to show you guys how I'm doing things, so in the future, probably 3 or 4 videos down the road, I will go to real-time video when I'm putting things together. I'll zoom in so you can see the details better and get a better understanding of what I'm actually doing, and try to pair that up to the section in the instructions where I'm creating, so I don't have to put so many overlay titles in the videos. So again, if you haven't already done so, hit that like button, the subscribe button, and the bell for notifications for future content. And I look forward to seeing you guys on the next video. Thanks. Have a good day.